Today I want to go over the native lazy loading. That's a technique that the browser enables you to load images and iframes when they are needed. That means we can quickly go into the network. If I'm loading this page now, you see that it loads like several images, but overall it loads most of the time like Angular stuff. But in this example, you see that when I'm scrolling, it loading the images when the user comes near them. That means over time it will load more and more. Here the amount of files that get loaded was a lot because it loaded the YouTube embedded player, and that need a lot of like libraries and JavaScript files to work. And today I want to show you how you can achieve this. It's super easy, but want to help you with getting a more performant and better loading page. We'll quickly go in the code. What I'm having here is Angular. That means it makes some stuff much easier, like a repeating element. In that example, we have like a for loop in HTML that repeating this image and going through all of these images that are defined in this list here, and you can quickly see what is the difference in the amount of files if I'm disable lazy loading for a moment. You see like it loading everything at once, independent if the user like reaching the end or not. If I make this true, it's like lazy loading. But the important thing to know is that this lazy loading could be negative for you, because if you're reaching a point and you are too fast, it could be that the browser not loading it fast enough. This even, as you have seen, I hope, also kind of works like when you jumped from a specific scroll positioning. That means it even works if you scrolling up, because the browser is like intelligent enough to know where the user is and what has to be loaded and what is near the user. But you can have issues if you are too fast, that you like having quick right places in my example, because the images are not fully loaded. To achieve this, relatively easy, there is an attribute loading, and this is defaultly set it to eager. If you're not manually setting it, that's the default value. And if you're setting this loading to lazy, it loads the media lazy automatically. In my case, it's like because of Angular, I can like deciding and make conditionings. But if you like have an image and you're setting the loading to lazy, it is lazy loaded automatically by the browser. Alright, that's kind of all what the lazy loading for images and iframes are, but I also want to go over some other logic or something that also is relevant for like loading the images even better. Here I have a component that have an attribute named source set and sizes. You are a front-end developer working with Angular. I have created a course for everyone wanting the latest info on Angular 17 and 18. It covers built-in control flow, standalone components, signals, migrating to Angular 17, and building an app from scratch. The course is in the description. We will quickly go into that. We have an image here, and it have a source set which defining different sizes of the component. In that example here, I'm loading an image with 200 and 115 and say or tell the browser if it loads this image, it will get an image with 200 pixels width. And that's the same for the next ones, telling here's an image, 400 pixels wide, and telling him that image is 400 pixels width, and so on. And also, and that's also important, is the sizes. And with the sizes, we as developer defining when an image quality has to be like upgraded or has to be better. In this example here, we're telling the browser it should use 200 pixels if the image getting bigger than 300 pixels. And that's like repeating here also. Here, for example, like we're using a pixel size that is 100 pixels less quality than it could be, but we then defining this stuff, and if it not is until 500 pixels, it will use here the default 800 pixels. If I'm saving this now, it should be visible. Yeah. So here you see like two images, and we have defined the sizes and the source set. And what the browser now will do is, if I'm like in a small size, you see like it's 200 pixels. That means if I look at the network, okay, eventually, okay, it's the iframe is lazy loaded, okay, but we will quickly clear that up. So if you have taken a look, you could see like this thing here. Here it loaded two images. The sizes is only because I'm here have different numbers, but it loading here the image 200 to 115 because the image is 200 pixels wide, and yeah, until it's 300 it should be this size. If I'm now getting bigger, the browser get it bigger than these 300 pixels, and then it loads the next image. The same will happen if my browser now getting over 500. Now you see it updated the image and it automatically loaded the new image with 600 pixels. And that's like the kind of functionality of source set, because you can define which quality of an image you need depending on the window or screen size. That means each time you're using source set and the sizes, you should think about how the image is used on the page. That example, like the image like not getting bigger than 319 pixels because of like an wrapper that limits the width, but overall it kind of checking the screen size. And important to know is that it will not like decrease the quality again. That means when it reached a higher quality image, it will not fall back to lower qualities, because if I'm like having a big screen, loaded a big image, I know it's like still 390 pixels, but if we're looking at the network, it loaded the image with 600. And if you're now decreasing the size of the browser, it will not load the image again, because it knows that it has loaded already a better quality image, and it's then relatively easy to scale this image down instead of like making a new request to getting the same image again in a different quality. That's important to know. My example here only containing, like as you have seen, like the image changes. It should not be the case, but it's better to see it when this happens. Normally you should use the same image but in different quality levels. And then you tell the browser when it should load what quality. And that's the whole trick of it. Yeah, that's all. I hope you liked the video and learned a little bit about the source set and the lazy loading. And I hope you liked the video and subscribed, and hopefully I see you in the next video.